It's always fun.
All right. Obviously, continue to grow as a team. They made a big run at us. I think they made 5 threes in a row in the first half. All their 5 made threes in the first half were consecutive, I'm pretty sure. Big part of our game plan. Look, they're shooting almost 42% in Pac-12 from the three-point line, making 9.8 a game. So I was unhappy with the fact that we started letting them make threes. We won the game because they only made 1 in the second half. So they've been lighting it up from the three-point line. And they shoot it at multiple positions. So even tonight, they only had 6 makes, but they had 4 guys making 3, 4 different guys. Really, everybody 1 through 4 on their team shoots the ball. But again, we out-rebound our opponents, so that's 3 straight wins. Where we've got 15, 14, and 11 offensive rebounds in our last 3 games, I'm pretty sure. Double-figure offensive rebounds. So we're +6 rebounding, we're +3 in the turnover department. You get more possessions than your opponent. You don't need to be an econ major at UCLA to figure out you have a better chance to win. But that takes effort, to take care of the ball, to turn them over, and to out-rebound. So I just think we're learning what winning effort is. There's a difference between effort and winning effort. And we played smart down the stretch, really smart defensively. Our guys knew we had fouls to give, so we were aggressive, closing off their drives. Burkett took a charge. We got some strips, because we were sitting on, we had 2 fouls to give still. And the guy, we communicated that to him in the last 5 minutes. So just playing smarter. Obviously, Dylan continues 21-7, continues to grow as a player. Their pick and roll coverage, they kind of give you that shot. Caleb Love had 37 on him. They dropped Dante really deep. So Tiger had 28 last year against that drop defense. So Dylan made 9 baskets against it tonight. We had different guys step up. Even though, Dem's such a huge factor, even though his stats don't show it tonight. He was dominant early and then obviously got in foul trouble.
What does it say about the team that in a game of wild runs, you had the big one in the end? I think it was a 1-point game, you outscored them 9-2.
Yeah, you got to have the last one. You got to have the last one. They're running around out there with Cuisinart's 25. Fifth year, running around out there with 4th and 5th year guys playing 140, 50 college games. So Grigsby, multiple guys like that, Diarra. So I think our guys have just learned how to compete against older players. But you got to have the last one, I knew it was fool's gold early. They just got too much talent. They got guys who put the ball in the basket. We did a great job on Jermaine Cuisinart. He's a leading scorer, and he's put a lot of points on a lot of people this year. For him only to make 1 basket.
What'd you make of Adai's minutes right after Adem picked up his 3rd foul?
I thought Adai played great. His 2 post moves in the first half just rolled out on him. If you guys saw practice, you could see the frustration on him. Every guy that tries to guard him, because he makes every one of those. But he's just young, it happens. Dante is 5 years older than him at least. Adai didn't turn 19 until I think it's April 7th or 8th, his birthday. So, but I think Dylan got him a couple of great lob passes, and he continues to get better. I told you guys this when we were struggling, and I think people wanted me to pile on the guys and start, talking about our talent and all that type of stuff. We got great guys on the team, and if you got guys that'll listen, then you just got to keep working with them. You know, Adai Amara has a great attitude. You know, I know a lot of people that he's going to come here 1 year, you know, but he didn't put that expectation on himself. And the truth is, everybody that was around him told me he was going to need multiple years. The problem is, other people write that stuff that make make everybody think that he's going to be able to dominate and be a lottery pick. You know, he didn't think that, and I know that people, his parents didn't think that. You know, I know Javi, his dad, who played in Spain, he definitely didn't think that. Even though his English is bad, he communicated that to me pretty well. So he continues to improve. And that's what we got to get rest and get better on Monday. It's a long year, guys. Long year. Everybody wants to rush to judgment. You got to give kids a chance to develop. And when they're good kids and they'll listen, you got a chance as a coach.
Coach, I just want to point this out, maybe this will make you smile. We talked about this the other day. You were the first team to score 60 in this game. Remember, I was kind of talking about that. But anyway, maybe we'll talk about that again another time.
Usually if we get to 70, my record's pretty salty.
Okay, so 70.
You might want to look at if we get to 70.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Talk to me a little bit more about, Dylan and Sebastian down the stretch.
Yeah, great.
Those guys.
Again, they're
just
pick and
did
roll
what they had to
coverage.
do.
They were giving them opportunities with their pick and roll coverage. And then, after a guy catches a few lobs, then the big man's really backing up and giving them the shots that and they were doing a great job of reading Dante. Because once a guy got a few lobs, Dante he was backing up and giving those guys the shot. They did a great job. I think the only one they missed, Bass got fouled. They just didn't call it.
And that seemed like the type of run or the type of energy and effort that a team needs to close out someone. How do you want that to translate going forward?
Well, you just got to have the last run, But again, you got to be in these type of games, and you can look back and say, hindsight 2020. But trust me, because I do. It's really hard for me to sleep. But I have to remind myself that we had to go through the stuff we went through to get to where we are now. As much as we wish you could rewind, because there's, like I mentioned to you, I can rattle off the first time we played them, Ohio State, Villanova, Marquette, those could all have been wins. But again, you're playing with a team that lost their 5 leading scorers from last year, so you got to give kids a chance to grow.
Coach, Lazar Stefanovic had a double-double.
Well, his rebounding has been unbelievably impressive. Okay, the only thing I'll tell you I take credit for is I told him when he came here that because I know he's athletic, and the difference is where he played, and everybody does things differently, that he went back on defense. And with his size and athleticism, when a shot goes up and you play for me, if you're not the point guard, you go get it. And he's just done a great job all year with his rebounding. Rebounding, I work for Bob Huggins, who's the best rebounding coach in modern basketball. Period. Kelvin Sampson is now, because Coach Huggins is out. Okay, Tom Izzo was, but Bob Huggins was the best. And it's just, again, it's back to math. You got to get numbers to the class. You can't just send your 4 and 5. You got to get 3.5 guys. You got to get a foul line rebounder. You got to get 3 guys attacking. You got to have guys there for the tip. But Lazar's been great, Tracy. I mean, he's more than just a shooter. And I told him when he transferred that that's what I was going to demand of him.
You talk about finishing games. It seemed like the game was still kind of going back and forth, and then Dylan hit that big 3.
Yeah, no hesitation though. But again, I think, when you haven't been out there and it's early in the season, and all of a sudden you're in those moments, and you weren't even in the game when those moments happened. And you gotta give the kids a chance to be in those moments to where it becomes second nature, and now they're just playing basketball instead of thinking about the situation. They like both those guys. They're both in here. They just look so much more comfortable now. I would agree with you. I think that's what you're alluding to. right, Tracy? I mean, they just look more comfortable in those situations.
And then he's turning to you and telling you things during the game.
Yeah, communicate, that's huge.
Yeah.
Well, we're trying to play smart, you know, both these guys down the stretch, we had fouls to give. And we were talking about their drop coverage, you know, and he got a guy with the lob, which opened up the pull up and the layups that they were both getting after that with the pick and roll. You know, and then reading it, whether they're going under or not. So just trying to play smart. You got to be able to play situational basketball and make adjustments. You know, so again, growth on their part. Only 7 turnovers. You know, that's what I like to see. Like when you do that, you got a chance to be a serious team, in my opinion. When you can out-rebound people and win the turnover battle, you're going to be plus 6 to 12 in possessions. Gives yourself a big chance to win. All right, guys. Oh, go ahead.
I know you've been a big fan of the first season comparisons, but does it feel like, you know, that last stretch of that season, just the locked in, the momentum, the electricity that those guys brought, it feels like
How many we
there's
got left?
9 regular season games left.
Yeah, we'll see. Long way to go. Long way to go. So, what's predictable is that when you struggle, everybody turns on you. That's what's predictable. But I've been down that road. Okay? And, you know, so I tell the kids, it's not about me. You know, it's their career. You know, I've had a hell of a run. Some people think I haven't, but I have for, you know, a kid from the west side of Cincinnati. But these guys got a career, so I'm trying to help them. So it's just a daily grind. You know, we got one senior on this thing, so you got to try to help these guys get better. If you do that, you ignore all the other stuff. Because the minute you start soaking in, all of a sudden we're good, we're going to go on it. No. We got to worry about getting rest and having a good practice Monday. We got to be able to handle a little bit of success, stress a little bit. All right, thanks.
Thank you.